guys, it's Luke and Jack, and we are here for Porsche update numero 3.
That is correct.
And we are both starved half to death, frozen cold, but we are here for you guys, the viewers, to inform you about the things that have been done to the Porsche, other than what you have been told in the other updates, obviously. So, in update number 2, we mentioned that we are going to repaint the car garnet red metallic, and that has been completed.
We have done that.
We have painted the car. No longer is this the purple Porsche with a bit of whatever other color that was.
Red and brown and...
Yeah, no longer is it multicoloral. It's now one uniform color, garnet red metallic, and it looks awesome. So, let's talk a little bit about this paint job. I did have Mako paint the car, and to many people, that is an automotive sin that you should never commit. However, I have committed it, and I'm here to inform you that it's not really a sin. This paint job looks awesome.
It does look great.
It looks really good. I mean, yeah, it's not the stupid nice paint job that Jack may have on his Mustang, but he paid over, what'd you pay, like 6 times what I paid? Something like that?
Yep.
How much was it? How much did your paint job cost?
Between $6,000 and $8,000.
You paid more than that. Was that including prep work?
Yes.
Okay.
But we did a lot of it. That was including some prep work.
Okay, so including all the prep work and all the paint, this was $1,200. And it comes with a 4-year warranty, and it has clear coat. Getting clear coat for that cheap is almost unheard of.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, it looks great with the clear coat on it. And it's a enamel paint job with a clear coat on it. It has a warranty for 4 years, and it looks freaking awesome. Now, there are a couple minor things that I do need to get taken care of. Think of this as almost like a review of Mako. They do a real good job when everything is like kind of lined up to work out, but I feel like when some things get a little bit like more complicated, that's where you start to see the cost cutting in a way. So I asked them to fill, we used to have trim on the side doors. This car came with that, but I thought it was hideous. And so apparently did the previous owner, because he had taken it off and filled it really terribly using Bondo, and just he didn't know what he was doing. I don't know which previous owner that was, so if any of you previous owners are watching, I'm not trying to directly blow any of you. I'm just saying that one of you guys screwed up, and you should probably not do that anymore. So the Bondo on the driver's door, that needed to be refinished, and I asked them if they could fill the holes that were there. And what ended up happening was they filled the holes, but they filled over the screws that were originally in the door that held the trim in place. Now, when I shut the door, the very first thing that happened when I got home was those screws broke through the paint. And that's obviously not ideal. So they're going to fix it under warranty. That's no big deal. Shouldn't take them more than a couple hours. I mean, they literally just have to putty one thing and respray. So that is not hard. And they'll take care of it for me for free. So based off of that, I am really satisfied with this paint job. It has great depth.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It looks really solid. There's obviously like teeny bits of overspray here and there, since I didn't have the whole thing completely repainted. Like, I just had him do a tape job on it, because I mean, otherwise they'd have to take the engine out. It's crazy doing
the
full
jams and take the doors out.
It's insane. And I mean, I didn't need to paint the door jams anyway, because I painted the car the same color that it was, and the door jams were already that color. So why would I spend more money? It matches perfectly. It looks great. But I mean, overall, paint, I'm very happy with. It's not the permanent paint job on this car. 10 years from now, I'll probably get a full serious repaint, some really nice paint on there, get lots of clear coat on, make it look really awesome. So let's talk about where we're going with this car. What do we have in store for this vehicle? Now, we're basically, I mean, I wouldn't say we're basically done with the restoration, because we're not. We are getting,
I think we're close to it.
We're getting a lot closer.
We're close to where we want to have it.
We're a lot closer than I thought we would be in 3.5 months of ownership.
Absolutely.
Let's put it that way. I thought this car wouldn't be done for years. I didn't expect to be painting it for like at least a year. Yeah. And I painted it within the first 3 months of owning it.
Yeah, originally we wanted to wrap it because...
Yeah. I mean, the original idea when I bought this car was like, I'm going to stick some Motor Minds decals on the side, and that's going to be it. And oh my God, have we done more than that? Like, it's ridiculous. We've been doing so much work to the car. I think the only other thing that you can turn right on red in this.
Yep.
Awesome. I always get confused by that in New Jersey.
Unless there's a sign, you can.
All you guys' weird turn laws.
Yep.
But as I was saying, What we do need to do though is seats, and I found a place that will sell me genuine leather seat covers for this car, and I think we're gonna get those. They're about $300. Pop those on. And
Well, they're new covers.
what?
New seat covers, right? Reupholstery kits. Not the whole seat, obviously.
Reupholstery kits, yeah.
And then another thing you did was order a suede dash pad cover.
Yeah, and that's gonna look awesome.
That's
Hide
gonna
a
look
few
awesome.
cracks that I have in the dash here.
Yep.
And then I still need to do the steering wheel. That needs to be reupholstered. I need to do the new shift boot and all that. And then just some headliner stuff. And other than that, I think we're basically
pretty damn
good
close.
to go. Now, there is one minor problem with this car. When you hit the gas...
Huge.
What?
This is huge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you for warning me
You
about
got it.
that. Train track crossing. But yeah, one thing that this car does do is when you hit the gas, there's a bit of a thump.
Jolt, yeah.
And it's not that bad, but it's definitely noticeable. And I've read quite a few things. The most common consensus is that it's the clutch. And obviously that's the last thing I want it to be, because replacing a clutch blows, and I don't want to do it.
I've done it before. Not fun.
Yeah, I bet it sucks.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, the clutch itself, and I've had a specialist, a Porsche specialist, drive this car. He says the clutch and transmission feel perfect. So that makes me, well, not perfect, really good. So that makes me want to rule out the clutch just based off of that. But I mean, the thing is, when those rubber centers go, your clutch isn't toast. It just won't dampen the vibrations as much. And I think if that is the case, it's only just starting to go, because I mean, like, that's not that bad.
No,
that's
it's
not that bad. Like, it's just mildly noticeable. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even worry about fixing that until you want to do the full, perfect restoration.
Or it becomes
on
a bigger
you know?
issue.
Or it gets worse,
Yeah.
exactly.
Here's the other thing, though. It could be my CV joints, or it could be my torque tube bearings. All of those have very similar, what am I going to say, symptoms. Yeah. They have very similar symptoms. So, I mean, it's definitely something to consider looking into. If it's the CV joints, I'll definitely want to look into that. And torque tube bearings, I know the torque tubes on these just tend to be kind of finicky in general. So, I mean, torque tube bearings aren't too expensive. I think the bearings themselves are only like $150. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those dude, they're just chilling.
They're sauntering in the middle of the road.
There's just two guys just chilling out in the middle of a main road. They're just chilling there, having a
Stopping
nice
traffic.
conversation. If you're a pedestrian, I'll respect you if you respect me. That's one thing I will say. The fact that pedestrians are above the law in a way is just stupid, to be brutally honest with you.
So what else would you like to do?
I mean, me personally, I want to drive the hell out of it. This is not a show car.
Oh, no, we're road tripping. We have to road trip it.
Yeah. No,
We have to.
this is not a show car by any means.
That's why we got
a
it.
lot of people, including the specialist I
Left.
took it to, told me that, oh, it's getting to the point where you should not put any miles on it, keep it all perfect and whatnot. And I'm sorry, but that's just not
Screw
what
that.
I'm not going to do that. I want this
You
car.
buy a car. I buy a car to drive it. You know?
Yeah, and while I put a lot of effort into making sure this thing looks awesome, like, I am super attention to detail. I was out in 15-degree weather this morning washing it, and I'm about to...
We had to do it in the garage, which is mildly heated,
Yeah,
just so the water didn't freeze on the paint as he was doing
and
it.
then it didn't get to dry all the way before we went and did the review, so now it's like mildly dirty again, so I'm gonna have to rinse that off. But I mean, getting away from the point again, I mean, it's a car that I'm definitely gonna take care of and keep looking nice, but it's not gonna be a garage queen. You buy a car like this to drive it, like Jack was saying, and this thing hardly has any miles on it. It has 90,000 miles. That's nothing. That's hardly anything for a car that's 32 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've heard stories of these things going to 300,000 miles, and if this car gets to 300,000 miles, that would be
You got your money
one
worth.
hell of a day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I'm sure it will, because I'll keep putting money into it because I love it, you know? I mean, yeah, it's not the most, financially smart thing to do, but I mean, when I'm loaded, why not?
Yep.
I mean, I'm making a lot of assumptions here. I'm probably gonna not be loaded, but whatever. I mean, the thing is,
That's not the way to think.
yeah, Jack would know. He has lofty aspirations, this man over here. But yeah, I mean, I mean, if you guys have driven an old car, you probably know what I'm going on about. But when you hop in the car and you turn the key and you hear that old four-cylinder fire up,
you just know.
And it's something that you've worked for, something you've worked on.
Yeah.
It's all yours and something that you are truly proud of. That just every single time I fire this car up, I'm really happy.
Gets you right here. And like I said, you turn it on, you just know if it's a good car or not, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way to tell about classic cars. You turn it on and you just get this feeling like this car
and that's the
gonna
thing.
be all right. This car wants to keep going.
And when I bought this car, I bought it not sight unseen, but I didn't have a pre-purchase inspection or anything. Bought it for $22.50. The thing looked like a pot. Like it looked really ugly. The interior was pretty ripped up. It had a lot of mechanical stuff that needed to be squared away. But for $22.50, and I test drove it, and like he was saying, I just knew that this car was going to work out really, really well. Mm-hmm. And once I squared away all the stuff that was mainly the main issues, like the timing belt, water pump, paint job, those are the main ones. And then plugs, wires, just generic stuff that I've told you guys about plenty of times in other videos. Once I squared that away, this car is awesome. Yeah. It is such a good car. And it had tons of life left. And the way one of my friends likes to describe it is, but this car, if you guys haven't known, her name's Vanessa. I named her on the very first day we had her.
That is correct.
And like my friend once said, this car's like a girl. She's 32 years old, and she just got out of a real tough relationship. She's battered, she's bruised, but she met me, and me with the help of I guess, then it gets complex. It's like kind of a three-way, but I mean...
Yeah, it gets weird.
I mean, we all love her.
Yeah.
I mean...
Sort of a love triangle.
Yeah, well...
Except it's really a one-directional triangle, if that makes any sense. Anyway,
don't expect it to make any sense. But basically what I'm saying is, she had a rough relationship, took a bit of a beating, but now that she's with me, or should I say us?
Yes.
She is back in her prime. She's ready to get back out there. She gained some weight. She had some acne. She didn't look all that great, but now she's fresh and new. Great.
Hit the gym,
she has that confidence. Exactly. She's back in the game. Her life's not over.
No.
She's just
back. Beginning.
It's only starting.
No, it's
only starting. And that's the way I like to look at it. This car, she's going to be around for a long, long time. So, in summary, this car is looking a lot better. We've really brought her back. The journey's not over. It's only just beginning.
Yes.
We're super excited. Definitely drop comments if there's any videos you'd like us to make on the car.
Mm-hmm. Or any other cars.
We have this car because of you guys, and we want to really include you guys in the journey. So, I mean, as always, feel free to browse the channel, subscribe if you like the content, and hopefully you guys will tune in and watch our next video.
Thanks for watching.